We are in Nedarim. Tough. Get off on base. Yes, get off on base. At the Mishnah, look above. Somebody takes a net, not to have any benefit for those who go down to sea. Not to have benefit for those who are dwell on land. Those who go down to sea as soon as we shall see to be sailors. However, if he makes it not to have any from those who dwell on land, then also Yardayam is also forbidden to those who go down to sea. As for main terms, we'll see this evening, is a generic term, which means human beings, right? So therefore, if he takes an eder not to derive any anoch, Yoshei Abosha also includes Yardayam. Now, Yardayam themselves is not those who go from Akko to Yafo, in other words, for day cruises, right, pleasure trips, Elamishadar, or business trips that matter, but short hops. Mishadar Kofresh means somebody who goes very far away from land, somebody who goes and is, I assume, a professional sailor or sportsman of that sort. Shalot Omar. Now, this is really, we're explaining, the Reisha. The Reisha says, Asa b'yadayam, you're forbidden those who go on the sea. Shlo Tomar, don't say that they would say about those who go, even when you take a neder from Yardayam, don't say about those who go from Akko to Yafo. Elamimisha darko liyoyz lefaresh. Rather means somebody who actually goes far away. So Yoshvei Abosha, and goes down to sea. Also, he's forbidden. It's hard to punctuate this. In order to punctuate this, I really like to turn the sentence around. Let me read it to you the way I really want to do it. I would put the words Aser b'yardayam, which are on the third line of the Gemara, and the first line of the Gemara. And we're going on that line, right, where it said Aser b'yardayam, the third line of the Mishnah. So it's saying Shlo Tomar, don't say these yardayam which you're forbidden to go to derive benefit from. Elo ochem me'akol yafo, are those who go just from Akko to Yafo. Elo b'misha darko lefarish miyoshvei abosha, where somebody who goes great distance from those who dwell on land. Okay, so that's what Aser b'yardayam means. It's not people who go on pleasure trips. And you took a neder, not driving enough from Yardayam, also in the Reisha, that also doesn't mean the people who go on pleasure trips or, go paddle boating. It means people who go very far away, go down to sea and do trade. V'lo sof davar, and then we explain the sefer. V'lo sof davar, the next word, elo, is superfluous. V'lo sof davar, go on elo, chim, me'akol, yafo. Also in the sefer it says that, you're forbidden to derive any benefit from the Yardayam. It's not talking about Elu Ochim Me'akol Yafo, those are going from Akko to Yafo, Ela Memisha Darko Lefarish. So in other words, both when it says Anodim Yardayam Mutar B'Yeshe Abosha, that and the Reish of the Mishnah means that you're not taking that from Yardayam themselves. I mean, from any Yardayam, but rather Yardayam will go very far at sea, right? Not just go on pleasure boats. And when a person takes that from Yoshvei Abosha, also be Yardayam, that also means you're also in everybody, not just those who stay near the shore, who are considered Yoshvei Abosha, but even those who go very far away, they're also considered to be Yoshvei Abosha. I don't know if I made that clear because it took me a long time actually to figure out how to learn it myself this morning, so I probably just made you confused. Let me say it one more time. The two possible Nedarim. There's Yoshvei Abosha and Yardayam, right? Yoshvei Abosha is inclusive of Yardayam. Yardayam is not inclusive of Yoshvei Abosha. What the Yerushalmi is trying to explain is that if you took a neder from Yardayam, you're mutzah and Yoshvei Abosha, including those who go from Akko to Yafo. even though they go back and forth on regularly, let's say, right, on trips back and forth from Akko to Yafo, that's not to be Yor De'ayam. Yor De'ayam is beyond international waters, right? Exactly, and vice versa. If you took a neder from Yoshei Abosha, then it includes Yor De'ayam, and not just the Yor De'ayam who go on trips between Akko and Yafo. That's partially including the Yoshei Abosha, because they're not really going far as sea. But even those who go far as sea, they're also concluded the Yoshei Abosha, because the Yoshei Abosha is a generic term for human beings.
Because those people have to eventually land anyway and live on land until they go out again.
That's correct. That's why they're all included. That's very good. Right. So again, that's what the Gemara is saying. Shlotamar, I'll start with the Gemara. Shlotamar Elohim Yaakov Liafo. Don't say that Yor De'ayam. When it says Osmi Yadayam, it's just those who go from Akko to Yafo. Ela B'misha Darko Lefaresh, the Yoshei Abosha. Again, I got it wrong. Don't say that the people who you're not allowed to derive benefit from are those who go from Akko to Yafo, but rather even those who are Darko Farish Yoshei Abosha, even those who go very far away, also they are forbidden. They're also B'Yar Dayam. They're considered to be from. I keep on getting mixed up. I just sat and stared at this for a long time this morning. I still can't see. I'm not reading it properly. Again, I'll take the third line, Osim Yardei B'Yardei and put it at the beginning of the Gemara. Osim Yardei means when you took the neder to not to derive benefit from Yardei, then the Shalot Tomar, starting from the first line one, Elohim Me'akol Yafo, don't construe that to mean that Yardei that you ask yourself on is just those who go down by the seashore. El B'Misha Darkol Yoshvet Yilufarish Yoshei Abosha, it's going on those who go very far. And dafka those, not those who stay near the shore. Those who stay near the shore, they're not included in your neder of Yor De'ayam, right? And also, in the Seif of the Mishra, when we say that when a person takes a neder from Yoshei Abosha, it includes also the Yor De'ayam. Below Sof Davar, it doesn't just include going Elohim Me'akol Liafo, it doesn't just include those guys who go nearby, El Misha Dark Lefarish, even somebody who's very far away is also included. Below me Yoshvei Yabosha Nadar, how come the people very far away included? Didn't he take a neder from Yoshei Abosha? But the Amras teaches us, those people who go down to see B'chlal Yoshvei Abosha, they're also considered to be part of Yoshvei Abosha. The interesting would be the case of the man without a country, if you recall your American literature, the guy who lived his entire life at sea, right? And you recall that at all? He was never allowed to land. No American ship was allowed to take him into port. Nobody remembers that. Anyway, so as Pasha sees, he would also be included in the neder if the Yoshei Abosha was the term used. Okay. Nadim Yodayam La'achar Shloshim Yom. Now, he took a neder from Yordayam after 30 days. In other words, he wants his neder to become effective with 30 days from now. And within these 30 days, Nasu Bnei Abosha, these sailors retired. Sailors retired within the 30 days after he took his neder. What's their status? So they flew to the Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Akiva. So those Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Shmuel Amar Achar Neder. We go after the time when he made the neder. Rabbi Akiva Omer Achar Isser. Go after the time when the Isser takes place. Okay. So therefore, you see, it's a machlokas whether it's going to go by the sailors, this population of, even though it's only going to take effect in 30 days, but you took the neder today. So the question is whether it goes by the population of sailors which exists today when you took the neder, goes by the population of sailors when the neder takes effect, which is 30 days hence. Okay? So the Gemara says, we obviously doesn't come to a conclusion in this machlokas. And also an interesting issue. People who go down, according to the Carbon Ada, and it seems the same, and Bnei Moshe as well, people who go down to sea, but not for trade. They're yacht, boaters. So are they including Yordei Yam? Yordei Yam mean, those people who are, old sea dog, real system. Yeah, merchantry and stuff like that. And the more it says Tzricha, we don't know. It's the Yerushalmi Teku. We don't know exactly what the halach is. I didn't look it up in the Bible, but I don't think that last discussion is in the Bible at all. Okay, on we go. Somebody who takes a neder not to have any benefit from those who see the sun. Also, is also forbidden in blind men. When people say roe chama, they don't actually mean people who mean to see the sun. They mean people who the sun sees, meaning people who live under the realm of the sun. So one of these terms, like same thing like Yoshvei Abosh includes all mankind. So roe chama also includes all mankind. Okay? Somebody takes a neder from those who are dark of head. Also, Bekerechim is still forbidden to our benefit from bald people, who Bali Savos, people who have white hair. Umutter b'noshi times mutter to our benefit from women and children, even if they have dark hair. Sheina nikroim shchei rosh el anoshim. Only men are called dark-haired. I guess that's the way they used to describe people in the old days. I don't know. Anyway,
that's interesting because there was a medrash that a view of Rabbi Meir says in the medrash that white hair is a sign of wisdom versus dark hair is a sign shows a lack of wisdom.
Yeah, that's maybe true, but it doesn't matter. I guess it's just an generic term for males as opposed to the term for wisdom. I guess even if they become white, they still remain males. I don't know exactly what that matters.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it either. Just hear the distinction. You're basically saying Corey Roach is Lavda.
It's not me. The Mishnah saying that, right?
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Versus that membership with Mayor, it says Daf. Talking about the black.
Mm-hmm.
That's where women are included. Velvet.
Let me check if it actually says. Yeah, that whole, like I told you, that whole thing about the Machlok Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Shmuel, about Nadi B'Kan L'Achar Shloshim Yom and the pleasure boaters, not in the Bible. Okay, I don't think it was. Okay, says Gemara. Says rather the Mishnah further. Hanoida mina Yeludim. This is a little bit dikduk, which of course turns most of us off. But Hanoida mina Yeludim, somebody who takes the neder not to derive benefit from Yeludim. Yeludim we touch up to mean those who are already born. Mutar b'Eladim is allowed to have the derive benefit from those who will be born afterwards, subsequently. What? Borrow 50 cents. Is this really borrowing? Are you paying me back for these 50 cents? I think the machine keeps changing. Okay. So he takes an after Yeludim, those who are already born. Mutar Eladim is allowed, and those who will be born afterwards. Eladim, if he takes an after from those who are going to be born in the future, so Meir Matir. Now the Mishnah is missing something, at least according to the Bavli. If you look in the Carbon 8 on the second to last line, he says Chisuri Mechzer V'Achidai. So I'm missing the Mishnah. This is the way it's supposed to read. Eladim, if he takes a letter from those who will be born, also the Yeludim, he's not allowed to derive any benefit from those who are already born. And the Morris will explain, because the Chachamim hold that Lashon Eladim is Tarte Mashma. It means both those in the field will be born and those who are born. But Mer not true. Eladim, so he takes the net and not to derive benefit from those who will be born. Mutar b'Yeludim, he holds that you're allowed to derive benefit from those already born, because he holds the word Eladim actually means, not dicta-wise, but definitionally it means those who are going to be born later on, not those who are already born. Okay? Says the Gemara, says the Mishnah rather, Chomim say, this is the end of this, the statement quoted by the Korban Eda, Lonis Kavin Ze'el Misha Darkulivoli, meant those who are born, who are normally born, so that means anybody both born in the future and born in the past. And the truth is, although the Mishnah doesn't discuss it, it probably includes also cesarean sections, right? It's not going to make a difference because that's the Lashon B'nai Adam. So it says more, my time on now, the Korban Eda reverses things in order to make it fit with the Bavli. The Pnei Moshe Shari Torah and Yisrael do not, but in the interest of simplicity, I'm going to learn the way the Korban Eda reverses the names in the next Gemara. My time should be the Rabbana. Why the Rabbanan hold that Noladim can even mean people already born? Because it says, Atosh Nei Bonecha Noladim Lecha. Right? Yaakov said to Yosef, there are two sons who are Noladim to you. For Klarnoldu, they're already born. So we see Noladim means those who already are extant. So that's Rabbanan's reason, who hold that Noladim includes those who are already born. My time of the Rabbi Meir, again switching according to the Korban Eda, what's the Svar Rabbi Meir to say Nolad is in the future? Because it says this passage Melachim Hinei Ben Nolad the Beis David, a son will be born to the house of David Yoshio Shmo. How we know will be born? Vadai Lo Nolad, because the time that this nevuah was made, this child was not yet born. Okay? Right. Hanoider Mishav to Shabbos. So somebody takes a neder from those who keep Shabbos. Also be Israel, so he's also in Jews, but also Kutim also keep Shabbos. Nowadays we would say not all Jews, unfortunately, but from those Jews who are Shomer Shabbos. Okay? But in the old days there wasn't such a concept. If somebody takes a neder not to have benefit from those who eat garlic. When are Jews supposed to eat garlic? Oh yeah, that'll be pretty bad to go.
Friday, I cheated. I went carbonated.
Yeah, Friday night because it's aphrodisiac, right? Fertility, right? So therefore, it's supposed to have garlic. So it seems not just the Jews had garlic, but so to the Kutim. Right? They adopted the good minhag of the Jews. So also Kutim. Mel Yerushalmi, if he takes an for those who go up to Yerushalmi, also Yisrael is forbidden for Jews. But Mutter Kutin, because Kutin don't go up to Yerushalmi, of course. Konav Shani Neder, when a person takes a neder not to have any benefit from Bnei Noach, Mutter Yisrael is like to have benefit from Jews, because even though Bnei Noach technically includes the Semites too, but nevertheless, Amaisa, that's not what he meant by his neder, right? And we go after Lashon Nedarim. Mutter b'Yisrael, Aser b'Umos is forbidden the goy. She'eni neder l'zera Avram, a person takes neder not to benefit from the children of Avram. Also b'Yisrael, he's also an Amisrael, Mutter b'Umos, but he's allowed to have what to do with the goyim, and that includes, of course, even Yishmael, who was the son of Avram Avinu. She'eni neder l'Yisrael, a person takes a neder not to derive any benefit from Yisrael. So he's got to pay more for things he buys, and sell things that are lost, because then he's not deriving any benefit, right? Because when he's paying too much, and when he's selling for too little, so therefore he's not deriving any benefit, right? If he takes neder that I'm so not derive any benefit from him, so vice versa. He buys at a steeper discount, so the seller makes no profit off him, loses money. And he sells for more money than it's worth, because that way again, the buyer is not getting any benefit from him. On the contrary, he's suffering a loss. Now, it says the Gemara, says the Mishnah, ever pragmatic, in Shomimlo, should be not ain, but in. If they listen to him, because what Jew is going to pay more, right? So she'eni nena lehem what? She'eni nena lehem ve'im li. But he says neither they should derive any benefit from me nor I from them. Then yena lumos, he can only derive any benefit from goyim. Ask Gemara, Vein Yishmael v'chal zar sh'Avram. Isn't Yishmael including the children of Avram? Says the Gemara, no. Ki b'Yitzchak yikol chazara. And Yitzchak, you will be called generations or have children. What? Descendants, thank you. Vein Esav b'chal zar shows zer Yitzchak, and Esav is not including zer Yitzchak. Another way of dashing this, b'miktzat Yitzchak, and part of Yitzchak. Ravuna Amar, base trait. B'Yitzchak is with a base, it alludes to two. Ben shu asi linchol shnei olamos. It's the son is going to get both worlds. Olam hazel olam haba, which means Yaakov and not Esav. Rabbi Gershom b'shem Rabbi Yaakov said, Darach kolcha miYaakov. It says a star came out from Yaakov. Mimi darach kolcha v'asid lamod. Where from whom has the star gone out and will stand up? That's Yaakov. So it's talking about Kohen Kohen, referring back to Avraham Avinu's nevuah, that his children will be like stars. So who is likened to stars? That they must be his children, Yaakov Avinu's kids. So therefore that eliminates the line of Yishmael and Esau because they're not part of that nevuah. Okay? Now here's a very interesting Gemara. I must preface this Gemara with a little story. Once, many years ago, when I was in Baltimore, Simcha Zussel Breuder was there, who was the Rosh Yeshiva of Hebron, Yeshiva Yerushalmi, and also a Slobodka. So I asked him, is it true that you guys in Slobodka, I'm paraphrasing obviously, you guys would really hold that Esav would show up today, he would be dressed in a frock and a Hamburg and be indistinguishable from any Rosh Yeshiva? Because the Slobodka Derech and Musar is to say that everybody in Tanakh was very holy and very high, and their sins were very, very relatively small. But the Tanakh amplified them in order to indicate that L'fi Madregosam, this is a very severe sin, and therefore they should be regarded as if they sin severely, even though they did not necessarily do so. So therefore I asked him, do you hold that about Esav as well? And he said yes. Esav would show up today, it would look like any other Rosh Yeshiva.
Esav is a Molech.
They put him on in the Moetzes. What? You're laughing, that's what I was about to say.
But Esav is a Molech.
So what?
So Molech, you're supposed to timcha.
Okay, right, Hanami, that's the Chiddush. That even that Amalek can be, you see, you're used to thinking of Arabs and the sort of other son of Israel's Amalek. They're not choshev enough to be Amalek. They have to be, an Esau who has special side befiv in order to be, true son of Israel.
What year was this? I'm just curious.
1981 or 82.
It was already old.
Was very old, yeah. Okay, so not as old as he is today. I would say, sure it's very old, man. Yeah, must be late 80s, right? So it says tomorrow, Rabbi Yaakov B'Shem Rav Chuna said, "Asid Esav al Rasha, Latov Taliso." Could wrap himself in his talis. For Leishevim at Tzadikim Gan Eden La'asid Locho. So that's it with the Tzadikim Gan Eden. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Geiro Motzio Misham. HaKadosh Baruch Hu grabs him by the collar and pulls him away. But nobody else would know. That's what the Gemara is saying, right? Everybody else thinks, this is Rebbe Esav, right? No, he looks just like the rest of us. Right? That's what it says here. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to take him by the collar and grab him away. Okay? My time, I'll pass it teaches this. In Tagbiyah Kanesher, if you uplifted like an eagle. And if among the stars you put your nest, from there I will take you down, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The stars among which he is, not the Hollywood stars, but rather the tzaddikim. Like it says, those who cause justice for the masses, are like stars forever.
They could use the proof of the grandchildren of Haman in Russia learn Torah to make right.
Well, they Taka became tzaddikim. Esav's going to claim he's a tzaddik, and he will deceive everybody except for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it's ultimately the tzayid befiv concept, right? That he's deceived Yitzchak, he can deceive anybody, right? And anybody will think he's a tzaddik, right? So I don't know. It's for me. See, I described before it's a Litvish Rosh Yeshiva with a frak and a hamburg. I'm sure the Litvak told he's going to come as a Chassid, and the Chassid hell is going to come as a Litvak, right? I don't know exactly how he's going to show up. Anyway, says the Mishnah further. Kind of shady neder l'Arelin. If a person takes a neder that he's not going to derive any benefit from Arelin, Mutar b'Arelin Yisrael, he's still allowed to derive benefit from Jews who are uncircumcised because of hemophilia or something like that, because Arel is a catch-all phrase for non-Jews, right? Is also even those goyim who have a bris milah, right? If vice versa, he says he's not allowed to have any benefit from those who had a bris milah, also by Areli, so he's not allowed to have any benefit even from Jews who are Areli. Is mutar to derive benefit from non-Jewish mulim, again, because milah is a generic term for Yisrael. Sheina orla kruya ela l'shem hagoyim. Goyim are called by orla. Shneimar says ki kol goyim arelim, or goyim arelim v'chol beis Yisrael arli lev. And Am Yisrael is only, we're not orel in body, we're orel only in spirit. Vaymet says vayah plishti orel hazeh ke'echad me'em esvay ba Goliath. This orel, this Philistine orel would be like one of them. Vaymet says tentismachta b'nos plishtim, lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice. Pentalosna benos arelim, lest they dance. Rabbi Lez ben Azarimer mu'usa yihal arla, repugnant is the arla. Shen is gana by Rishonim, the Rishonim are mocked by their having an arla. Shneimar says kikol goyim arelim, all Jews they are arelim v'chol beis Yisrael arli, they have a spiritual but not a physical arla. Shmuel Mer Gedolah Mila is very great. Shlosha is very brisos. Yichlos 13 brisos, where the Yerushalmi is going to explain 13 covenants were wrought concerning it, as indicated by the words in the Parsha Mila. Basically, Mer Gedolah Mila, she died Chashav S'chabura, which is the more severe. Rabbi Yeshua Mer Gedolah Mila is very great. Shalom nitla Moshe Tzadik Olav. Moshe was not granted reprieve because of bris milah, because if he didn't give his son a bris milah on time, even for a moment. Milah is great. She deiches and a guy pushes off leprosy. In other words, a person has leprosy in his heart law, you still cut it off despite that, even though there's normally a law of cutting off leprosy signs. Rabbi Omer Gedolah Mila is very great. She called mitzvah sh'asa Avraham Avinu. All mitzvah Avraham performed. L'nikar Shalom. He wasn't called whole ad shema. It's interesting that this words transpose the letters of Shemal and you get Sholem. You see that? Okay. So Shneimar says he's alech lefanai, go before me, v'yetamim, and be whole, and that's about the bismillah. Another interpretation. Mila is very great. Lo barak Kodesh Baruch Hu Salom Hashem, not to create his word for any other reason except for bris. Shenem, that would be sufficient. Shenemar. It says, "Kol ma'Hashem lo brisi yom and v'layv," not for my bris day and night. Chuko shalai v'aretz, the rules of heaven and earth, was something I would not have created. Another interpretation. Mila is very great. Shushkula Kanei Kol Mitzvah Shabbat Torah corresponds to all the mitzvahs. Torah Shenemar says, "Hinei damar bris asher karas Hashem imachem al kol dvarim ha'eleh." So the damar bris corresponds to all the mitzvahs. All right.
That's an unusual Mishnah.
Because it's Haggadah. Right. It's rare. Well, it happens occasionally.
Like that in the Bible too?
Yeah. It happens occasionally. Not too often, but you're right. It happens occasionally.
I wish I had a nickel for every time I see the phrase that this mitzvah is connected to all the other mitzvahs or the other one.
You would not have that many nickels, Donald. Maybe 6 or 7.
All right, but
you could buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah. Okay, wish for something more than a nickel every time.
$1,000.
Okay, that would be more reasonable. So anyway, Amar Yochel Bar Miriam. Yochel Bar said, "Ksiv," it says, "Bayom ha'u and that day, Koras Hashem es brisas Avraham." Hashem made a bris with Avraham lemor to tell the following: Ad ves bria, so Yokimus Yitzchak until ves bris Yokimus Yitzchak. Possibly later on. Shloshes Brisos, the 13 words times. The word bris mentioned in Torah, so that the word bris mentioned in Torah 13 times is the 13 brisos. Okay? I'm really trying to make some simmers about how we get 13, but I'm sure you're all very interested about that. It says the next Gemara. The Korban Eidah changes the gear, so if you take a look at Korban Eidah right at the beginning of the Gemara, right at the beginning of the Gemara, not the Mishnah. It says, Ori Garzina, Bayom Hashmini Yimol, on the 8th day you do bris milah, afilu b'Shabbos, even on Shabbos. Umani kayim mechaleh mosimosai, it says that mechaleh mosimos, if you desecrate the Shabbos, you die. B'Shabbos also going on all the other melachos besides milah. Right now left milah, maybe not, maybe includes also milah. Umani kayim b'yom hashmini yimo chutz m'Shabbos, maybe yom hashmini yimo includes every day except for Shabbos. Tamuloma, that's why the pasuk says, going back to the text, Tamuloma ubeyoyim afilu b'Shabbos. It says, of yom, I guess an extra vav, we darshan that it's even on Shabbos to do bris milah. Okay? The bris milah is doicha Shabbos. So it says more, b'tornavim uksuvim. In Tornavim, so we find Shabbos school in Eidah mitzvahs. It's not just bris milah, also Shabbos corresponds to all the mitzvahs. But Torah says, Arona meyantem lishmor mitzvos side. How long did you refuse to keep my mitzvahs and my Torahs? And it says, Ksiv there, Jason there too. Ruki Hashem nasalochem et Shabbos. So what do we see? The Torahs which are referring to are Shabbos. Okay? Says the Gemara. That's one. The Vim says, "Vayamru bi banai, babonim." The children were rebellious against me. V'chukosai lo alocha. They didn't go here I pathways. It says that after Shabbos was haichilim, they were very much desecrated Shabbos. So we see that this chilul Shabbos is very bad. It doesn't here say precisely K'nei Kol Mitzvahs, but I guess chilul mode is very bad. But Ksuvim, in the Ksuvim part of Tanakh, you see it says, you came down Har Sinai. It says, "V'Shabbat Kodesh Hodato." You gave the lamb. You gave them your holy Shabbos. So see these two things come together. Arman Elazar ben Avina Avina said, "Mitzvah Shabbos." The word mitzvah, when it pertains to Shabbos, in Yechezkel, is which is not Yechezkel, Nehemiah, which is what? Oh, is Nehemiah or Yechezkel? What? You want Nehemiah over here? You're right, Nehemiah. Okay. So, it is a mitzvah Shabbos Malya. It says mitzvahs with an extra verb. L'odiacha, to teach us, Sheish Kula Kneged Mitzvah Kol Mitzvah Se'ah Shel Torah. It's another one of Donald Nichols here. That Shabbos corresponds to all the mitzvahs in the Torah, right? Excuse me? So it says, now Mila pushes off Shabbos. What's an interesting thing, the Gemara is finally coming back around to Mila here. Mila pushes off Shabbos. So, it's interesting, Mashal Chach from Parshas Parloitzcha. He says that Mila pushes off Shabbos was the raya for the people who are carrying Yosef's coffin to the man to man Pesach Sheni. Why? What does one thing have to do with the other? So he says that. Let's see if I can figure it out. Since Mila pushes off Shabbos. Well, the way it works is like that. Mila pushes off Shabbos, but Mila doesn't push off Korban Pesach. Oh, I made a mistake. That's right. So I explained the people in the Midrash Pesach explains B'nai B'Seira. B'nai B'Seira, when Erev Pesach came on Shabbos, they didn't know if the Shechita's Korban Pesach was Dochel Shabbos, that they should carry the knives to the Beis Hamikdash. So let's see. If you would have held the reason why they were Mesupok, whether this is Dochel Shabbos, is because Mila is Doicha Shabbos, right? But Mila is not Doicha Pesach. If Am Yisrael doesn't have Bris Mila, except in Midbar, where it's a Rosh Hashanah, they don't get to do a Korban Pesach. So therefore, the Shiloh was if they're mostly not circumcised. So the Shiloh was, how can we say that? How can we say that? I forget what how I wanted to finish that sentence. It's not a Shiloh. The Bnei B'Seirah's issue was how can we allow them to bring the knives into the Beis Hamikdash on Erev Pesach comes out on Shabbos? We don't know Pesach is Doicha Shabbos, because the proof of that is that Mila is Doicha Shabbos, but Mila is not Doicha Pesach. So therefore, May Pesach itself is not Doicha Shabbos. So that's why they needed to ask Hillel what to do. Was stand there, and he told them to put the knives on the on the backs through the wool of the goats that are being to be slaughtered. Okay, so they wouldn't actually be carrying. So in any event, it comes out that the Shabbos and Bris Milah are very chashiv, right? They're both shkula k'nei kol Torah kula. Second wide line here. Moshe Shtei Matrinas, Shabbos and Milah are like two matrons. Shayu both Zua Gabzu, they come one upon the other. Vena Yodeh Ezek Gdolim Mechaverti, you don't know which one is the greater matron. Zu Shirez Ne'eraver, the one who goes down or steps aside in front of her friend. Ad Yodeh Shechavirosa Gdolim, and you know that or steps aside to make room for a friend. So you know that a friend is greater for it than her. So to Shabbos steps aside for Bris Milah. So what's a greater matronisa? Obviously. Shabbos steps aside for Bris Milah. Obviously, Milah is an even higher madrega of Avodas Hashem than Shabbos is.
Even though Milah is only for one half of the Jewish people, like Shabbos is for both male and female.
Right. The people who can't do it, Milah is the highest, is much higher. That's what he's saying here. Okay? Avodah Zarah kasher mikulam. Avodah Zarah is the worst avera, as it says, "V'chit yishku v'lo tasus kol mitzvah seila." It says that if you make a mistake and do not do all the mitzvahs, so somebody doesn't do all the mitzvahs is subject to this concept of lack of kiddush. It's considered avodah zarah. Now I'm getting across very poorly. The Chiddush Gublos as is the introduction to Korban, one of the specific Korbanos. And the Korban introduces Avodah Zarah, and the pasuk there calls Avodah Zarah Kol HaMitzvahs. So we see that Avodah Zarah Shkula Kenega Torah Kol Torah Kula, right? Amar Yida Rapazi B'Shem Barpazi. Yida Rapazi says Chil Hashem is Kosh B'Glum. Chil Hashem is the word Saveira. Kiddush Kubelos Asus Kol Mitzvahs Hadod. You'll see this it says Vatem Beis Yisrael Kol Ma'Hashem Lokei Yisrael. Hashem said to Am Yisrael, each kilu of l'chu avodu, go worship your idols. But Eshen Kochilos Chalu, I ask you, please don't mechal Hashem Shamayim. Do whatever you have to do, but don't make a chilul Hashem. Okay. Now, getting back to our Mishnah, with the Bris Milah Moshe Rabbeinu's kid. By Deshi Yisata Moshe B'Milah. Because Moshe Rabbeinu was not diligent to make a Bris Milah for his kid Gershom, so therefore Bikesh Machlokes wanted to kill him. I'll see that's what it says. Hashem met up with him. Yisrael wanted to kill him. Rabbeinu said, Chas v'sholei Loni Salta Moshe B'Milah. Moshe is not lazy when it comes to bring the mitzvah Bris Milah. Well, Elishah Dam Batzmo. He made a logic. When he says, let's say, if I should make a Bris Milah and then go on my way, Sakana, you'd say, just for the kid. Vilna shows, and if I should stick around, Hashem said already I should save the Jews, and Sakanas Nevashas. So therefore, you have to go back right away with alacrity, and he didn't have time to do a Bris Milah. Ella, so why did he get punished? When he got to a hostelry, youth hostel, wherever he was staying, Well, he was almost 80 years old at the time. He should have made arrangements first to save Am Yisrael. I'm sorry, first do Mila, before making arrangements for a place for Lena, right? Although, see, the Zadlin says, Vayibaderach b'malon, the ready hotel. That Hashem got upset at. First, you make sure that Grossingers is available for you. You know, Grossingers is, right? You know, Grossingers. You say Grossingers? Okay. So did I.
You're talking about cars.
No.
No.
Famous Catskill Resort. The last of the big, before the homeland, actually. Last of the big kosher resorts. Alright, so in any event, Hadar says, how it says, Vayibaderech Mamalon. First he went and made sure he had the Grossingers, and only then he started doing the Bris Milah. So I guess Moshe Rabbeinu's time was he needed a hole, improper, to have that, because that Malon must have been pretty close to Mitzrayim. So it says the Gemara, interesting, I'm not sure Gamliel, this is not, Rashi Chumash doesn't bring down the Sagat, so I assume it's not the Bible either. Rashi Gamliel, Chaz v'shalom lo bikesh ha'malach la'arog l'Moshe, el Latinok. The Malach didn't want to kill Moshe, and Moshe is Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? Who the Malach want to kill? The kid. What?
He's not responsible for it's the responsibility of the parents until the kid becomes bar mitzvah.
The trial is whether by B'nai Noach it's like that. I don't know if that's true. That's a good point you're raising. I don't know. But he says it wasn't Moshe Rabbeinu, but it was the other kid. I don't. What?
This was before.
Yeah, right. As the former Torah said, Dina B'nai Noach, even though they have to have Bris Milah. Right. Okay, so I don't know exactly what to do with the child. Isai Tanya Tino Borei, so says in Makom, third line. Mikoi Chasan, who's called Chasan? Moshe Atino. You know, Sipora says Chasan Damim Atoli. So she talking about Moshe or the kid. Isai Tanya Moshe, so some people say she started the Moshe, and Moshe is called the Chasan. Each time, even though they've been married for many years already, each time those who say Hatino call it Chasan. Hatino is called, the child is called the Chasan. Man, the Moshe called Chasan, he says the Moshe is called the Chasan, because, and then, Sipora said, Chasan! Dami misbakish miyotcha! Chasan, because of you, the blood of the child was quested. And she was ranking him out. Man, the Hatino called it Chasan, quite a bigger joke to the kids called the Chasan, she was saying, Chasan! My chasen bacher, b'dami ma'adai midli. You've been able to withstand this because of the blood which I spill on your behalf. Okay? Says the Gemara, there's a third opinion. Ta'atikach tzipora tsar. First we read the Tzipora took a rock. V'ati choyes his banan. She cut the oil of her kid. V'atagar glove. She touched his legs. Rabbi Rabbanan three opinions. Chadam al ragol shel Moshe. She put the knife at the feet of Moshe in order to symbolize that she was atoning for Moshe. She put it by the legs of Malach in order to symbolize that this episode should be an end. Right? This swallowing, according to Chazal, I don't remember what Chazal, but Rashi says that there was like a serpent which was swallowing Moshe from the bottom up and then from the top down to the Makom Milah. So obviously that was not a pleasant experience. So in any event, Charana Malaragla Shaltina, it was for the legs of the child, or I guess was swaddled or half covered. It came to Moshe Rabbeinu. So then we say, she put the blood stained rock by Moshe Rabbeinu's feet. So we're going down Hel Gazei Chavach. She's saying to her husband, here this is eliminate your debt. Madamar Raglo Shamalchi, he says that she put the rock at the footsteps of the Malach. So she said to him, Helach, here's your thing, Avad Shechusach, you did your work, now go home. Okay? Madamar L'Raglo Shatinok, that she put it up by the legs of the Tinok, means Dagabuk of a Tinok, she did the Bris Milah herself. Actually, we're not making nowadays women to do Bris Milahs, but it's a matter of some, contesting, because you see that, Pashtus is that she did the Mila for her son, Tzipora. Okay? In any event, Vayirach Mimenu, she loosened her grip, and then she said, Chasan Damim La Mulos. Chasan Damim for Bris Milos. So Mikal Shtei Milos. Right here, since it says Milos, two Milos, it means that there are two components of Milo. Achas Lamilo, one is the chopping, Vachas one is the ripping of the outer membrane. Wachas Lamilo, one is the initial chopping of the Aver, Vachas season one is forgetting whatever snippets of flesh are left. Okay? Yimo Basar Laso, now getting back to the issue of the previous mission, you do Bris Milo on your Orla, Aval Bishiyesham Taras, even though there's Taras there, because Bris Milo pushes up Taras. Right? Oh, same thing. Virus is born in Taras, right? So now, the Korban Eidah changes things here around a little bit. If you look, almost due right in the Korban Eidah, there's a halacha Hey Gimel at the end of the line. The line below that. Everybody see that Hey Gimel at the end of the line? Donald?
Yeah.
Okay, the Ochi Grasina. Manikai Mishomer Ben Nega, what does it mean you should watch Nega Taras? Chutz meal, perhaps it doesn't include meal. Meal, you just chop away merrily. Why not laugh? Meal, even by meal, you have to be careful not to cut off Taras. Umani Yikayim Yimo, getting back to the Gemara. So what do I do with Yikayim Basar, Yimo Basar Laso? Bisman Change or Baheres? When there's no affliction there. Tamilomar Basar. Now this is going on, I forgot what this was, yeah. What's the time going? Yeah. Okay, my kind of mobile side so is manching Shabbos when there's no bears. It's all I mean. My Tamulomer Basar, right? That's a Basar appreciation, but Baharis, Bimo Basar so means the flesh of the bone no matter what the status is. Okay. Says Maldai Rabbi Yerucham Rabbi Yerucham Mitzvah say Doichas Mitzvah Slosar say. Ava B'Shei Ksur Tzida. The say is say even though it's not written right nearby. Aldai did Rabbi Yossi that all these says are Doichas says. Aldai Rabbi Yossi Amar Em Mitzvah say Doichas Mitzvah Slosar say. Now it says not doesn't push off Slosar say Eli Mois Ksur B'Tzida unless we're in close connection in the Chumash. So became the see B'Sar Laso. So here Bris Milah and cutting off Taras are not written in close proximity. Nevertheless, it says B'Sar Laso Kimi Shehi Ksuva B'Yada. In other words, that B'Sar Laso is superfluous. So therefore, it's like a free radical which goes from place to place. And what? And it teaches us that you can cut off the Taras, even though it's normally forbidden. Okay, so B'Sar Laso, those words which are superfluous, they teach us that you cut it off even if there's a Taras there. It's like you made a wing in X, they wing in Y.
Now, the mitzvah to say of Mila is not written near the mitzvah to say of Shabbos.
Yeah, it is. Through the drasha, Yom HaShmini Mo B'Sar Laso, so it's the same person. Here it's not a word, you're right. There it's not really word-based drasha. Here it's more of a word-based drasha. So, because it says, actually I'm not sure about that. What? Yeah. So here, I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're asking. Okay? Say Dogalosa says only when they're written together. But that's only, I think that's only if there's no special limud. So B'Yom HaShmini qualifies as several limud. That's what I meant to say. Okay? Okay, now, next paragraph. Ein ben ha'muder anam mechavero. There's other to somebody who forswears all benefit from his friend. Ha'muder menam achol, somebody forswears just eating from him. If he only forswore eating, he's allowed to walk through his yard or his house. The kelim, and he's allowed to use his vessel, she'enes ben mochel nevesh, which he does not use for foodstuffs. Somebody that takes not to have any benefit from foodstuffs her friend. No, mechaber. You ask her hana of your foodstuffs for your friend. Lo yishalenu nafal k'var you can't the tanur. You can't lend him anything with which you make food, such as various different sieves and mills and ovens. But since the hana has to do with Michael, you're not buying with any food. You can loan him a choluk, a garment, a talis, the zomi tabos, and makeup. Not makeup, jewelry. Any place where one doesn't make ochel nefesh, anything with these kelim, nevertheless, if you rent them out normally for money, also now it's given as a free rental to the guy against whom we made a neder. Is that clear, that last case? Yeah, no? If I take a neder not to provide Yaakov any hanos Michaels, I can't give him the premise, right? Because obviously it's hanos Michael. Can I give him the cell phone? You would say yes, right? The answer is no. Why? Because normally cell phones cost money. He's saving money by using my cell phone. What's he going to do with that money? Buy food. So it's awesome. You got that? I don't know, maybe to think that. I don't know if it's true or untrue. But in fact, this is not true. I just came up with the cell phones. That it's also to go, if you see a meter running out, it's also for you to go feed the meter. It's illegal to do so.
Yeah, a woman was arrested for that.
I just heard this myself today. Somebody told me that.
It was last year.
That's mamish kaifin on me. That's dumb.
Down the street, and someone arrested her. Why? Because she's not allowed to do that. She's so all the fun of it.
Right. She's saving them from tickets. It's not allowed to do that. It's mamish kaifin on me. That's time. It's unbelievable. Well, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. I'll tell you, that's the story somebody just told me today. But he said it's even also, as far as that in the sense, for you to go and feed your own meter. But you can't go and replenish the quarter.
Leave that spot after an hour.
Right. Right, but I think that's only where there's a limit post of like a 2-hour limit or something like that. Anyway, interesting halachos. Okay, so be that as it may. It says in our Mishnah, if I forbade all hana from my food upon you, I can't give him a pots and pans. Why? Flomi machal nodar isn't the neder from foodstuffs. It's not from food preparation stuff. It's from foodstuffs, right? Amar Shimon says, Kini mas nisa. You have to read the Mishnah slightly different. Ein ben moder hanoyach mechavero lemoider hanoyas machal mechavero. It's not machal, but hanoyas machal, the benefit, the pleasure of the food, right? It's not just the actual food itself, right? It said in the Mishnah the actual food itself, but we say now to provide pots and pans. So instead of saying machal, we say hanoyas machal, the hanoah of the food. Include pots and pans, okay? Says Martai the base Rebbe K. We also look this way. The Mishnah in the house of Rebbe. I suspect that there's a word missing there. It should be the base Rebbe something or other, because the Mishnah in the house of Rebbe is normally taken to be our Mishnah is in front of us. So I don't know what it means. Tiny the base Rebbe. Then later you can't loan him nafal kfar echaim tarot, various different sifting mechanisms. Tani, interesting thing. Aval mashilo, you're allowed to loan to your friend even though you forbade upon him hanoyas macho, koisais, cups, ukaros, and plates. But tamchuyim and tamchuyim are like containers. Why? It's a fascinating thing. Shedam hayim, they don't provide benefit from food. Aval machnisin by masalchel, just put food in them. Hanoyas machol is where you provide them with food preparation material, but food storage material is not considered to be hanoyas machol. It's interesting. I don't know what the distinction is, but that's Yerushalmi's distinction.
If you didn't have a place to store it, it would spoil.
What? Yeah, but obviously then it would spoil even if you had a place to store it. It's like using a cup in the middle of a meal or something like that. It's an interesting concept. Okay, it's a big chiddush, I think. With plastic potatoes also, of course, various different types of pots are also. Litcham v'litrach, to assist them in grinding and pressing grapes or olives is also. Lichtzor, can you help him harvest? Tzricha, it's a teku. The leaf are also to harvest grapes. That's also a teku. Why is that a teku? Because maybe that's hanoyas machol, but maybe on the other hand, they're so far removed from being food at the time you harvest them that maybe it's permissible. Interesting shot. What?
Grapes?
They don't. Nobody ate raw grapes in the old days. It's a new thing to eat raw grapes. So what do they do with grapes? Wine. Right?
I think it's a bottom line issue.
Bottom line issue. Okay, so he's not saving that much. You help him on that. So David, so it says hanoyas. It should be hanoyas machol mau. What if he said? Is that true only when he said machol, or even when he said hanoyas machol? That even then you're allowed to potentially harvest within the word doesn't answer. Tani avo mashil shel kadam. Now it says you're allowed to lend them an axe. It's an axe used to cut down cheese to get the fruit out. So that's like harvesting and would be mutter. There's more note. Say about an axe used to bang nails in, actually, or something like that. And it's not. Therefore, it's no riot or sugya. Okay. We don't hear anything for this. Rabbi Avuna, Rabbi Omar, Rabbi Yermi, a boy here. Rabbi Yermi said Rabbi Avuna said Rabbi Yermi asked, Ahain Yusta. The Yusta according to Bnei Moshe is a belt which has holes in it, so it can be used as a sieve, right? Can sift with it. Ahain Yusta. We came with the merachat since it has holes which are far apart. The choshev kimchan, you can use it to sift flour. It's a statement actually. Also, Mishalei not allowed to loan it in, because people use it freely to make food. Right above, B'Shem Rabbi Zira said, "Shuhu b'noisei k'noisei lo mos likap ben kikon." It's like giving him money in order to buy bread. In other words, and they're both awesome. You're not allowed to give a guy money if you're noider on nois machal from him, because what's he going to use the money to do? To buy bread. So therefore, it's awesome. Right above, boy, I think it's a statement. Me'atu also ashula mos. You're not allowed to loan him money. Shu noisin lamos the lika by because you're giving him money to buy food with. He's gonna have to pay you back. So what? I might say you own the money to buy food in the meantime. That was per immediate hanor. Rabbi Amar, Rabbi Yirmiyah boy, Rabbi asked, Elan cosmedia. I think it's the same word as cosmetics. In other words, these are ways in which he can make himself look nice, the Isalayim, and then he can get more food. Also, Mishlani not allowed to loan him. So it's interesting. That's the way the Carbon 8 interprets it. But it's interesting shot in the Oral Yosher. He says, if there's an Afghan, I don't know how he steps into the Gemara. It's a pretty neat trick. I don't know exactly if it works, but it's a cute svara he uses. He says, if the hanoyas machol is such that we answer hanoya, not just machol, then it should even be something which is a shavar pruta. But if we learn that the hanoyas machol is predicated on the machol, that should only be something it should be based on kazayas, right? Because machol should be based on kazayas, hanoyas machol should be based on pruta. So he wants to say the cosmetic business over here is somehow worth more than a kazayas, but less than a pruta. And that's the shaila, can you provide him with that? So if hanoyas machol is also as hanoah, then the shiur would be a pruta, and you'd be allowed to give him cosmetics. If the shiur is a kazayis, like food, that's even less. Kazayis can cost a pruta in the old days, so then that would be also even for less than a kazayis, because it's similar to food stuff. L'maisa, again, as I said before, the Korbei learns it's indirect. It's not that the cosmetics itself are issues of providing with money, which would allow him to go buy, but are issues of providing him with the capacity to go out and raise more money, so like giving him a green card. Okay, we'll stop here for today.
Same concept about doing business with Goyim 3 days before their holidays.
How do you want
them to get enough? So they're going to take the money that they've made.
Not the money, no. They're going to be Mishabech to Avodah Zarah. That's not exactly the same thing.
In 1968, I spoke with one of those.
1968? When I was 6 years old, I wasn't thinking